Hey, spooky people, it's your best friend Kenny, and we are here with this week's Shadow Docket. For those of you that don't know or are new to the channel, the Shadow Docket is a weekly series where I find some weird stories that I want to talk about. First off, a Montana man got 6 months in prison for cloning a giant sheep and then breeding it. An 81-year-old Montana man was sentenced Monday to 6 months in federal prison for illegally using tissue and testicles from large sheep hunted in Central Asia and the U.S. to create a hybrid sheep for captive trophy hunting in Texas and Minnesota. U.S. District Court Judge Brian Morris said he struggled to come up with a sentence for Arthur Jack Schubarth of Vaughan, Montana. He said he weighed Schubarth's age and lack of criminal record with a sentence that would deter anyone else from trying to change the genetic makeup of the creatures on the earth. Morris was also fined with $20,000 and ordered to make a $4,000 payment to the U.S. and Wildlife Formation. Schubarth owns Sun River Enterprises, LLC, a 215-acre alternative livestock ranch, which buys, sells, and breeds alternative livestock such as mountain sheep, mountain goats, and ungulates, primarily for private hunting preserves, where people shoot captive trophy game animals for a fee. Prosecutors said he'd been in the game farming business since 1987. Schubarth pled guilty in March to charges that he and 5 other people conspired to use tissue from a Marco Polo sheep illegally brought into the U.S. to clone that animal and then use the clone and its descendants to create a larger hybrid species of sheep that would be more valuable for captive hunting operations. Marco Polo sheep are the largest in the world, can weigh 300 pounds, and have curled horns up to 5 feet long. It's a big sheep. A paralyzed man is unable to walk after the maker of his powered exoskeleton tells him it's now obsolete. This is not the dystopian future I was promised. A former jockey who was left paralyzed from the waist down after a horse riding accident was able to walk again thanks to a cutting-edge piece of robotic tech, a $100,000 Rewalk personal exoskeleton. When one of its small parts malfunctioned, however, the entire device stopped working. Desperate to gain his mobility back, he reached out to the manufacturer, LifeWord, for repairs, but it turned him away, claiming the exoskeleton was too old. According to Straight, the issue was caused by a piece of wiring that came loose from the battery that powered a wristwatch used to control the exoskeleton. This would not cost much for LifeWord to fix, but it refuses to service anything more than 5 years old. And finally, potatoes are better than human blood for making space bricks, according to scientists. Engineers have created an intriguing concrete alternative using simulated Martian and lunar soil, potato starch, and salt. Sounds like a delicious meal in the making. The space concrete is twice as strong as conventional concrete, researchers say. The hope is the new material will eventually facilitate construction efforts on the moon and Mars. In a new study published in the Journal of Open Engineering, 2 researchers from the University of Manchester in England demonstrated the effectiveness of potato starch as a binder to create the novel starcrete. Potato starch wasn't the first medium that the University of Manchester scientists used in their search for the ISRU building supplies. In a previous study, the same team explored the possibility of using human blood and urine as binding agents for their extraterrestrial concrete. The blood and urine of astronauts, after all, are renewable resources and are therefore available wherever an astronaut's mission might take them. And you know what they always say, blood is thicker than water, but potatoes are stronger than blood. Anyway, that's it for the Shadow Docket. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Follow me on Twitter and TikTok. My username is akbrews. And I hope you guys have a great week. Thanks.